Welcome to Anime Random. This video is a recap of the anime My Happy Marriage Season 1. Miyo was treated horribly by her stepmother and stepsister Kaya. In this world, important families with supernatural powers ruled, but Miyo, from the Saimori family, did not inherit any superpowers. After her mother died, Miyo was basically treated like one of the servants in her own home. Even her own father didn't care about her. Because she was treated like she was nothing, she started to believe she was worthless and did not deserve any happiness. She felt like she was just waiting to die because she felt like her life didn't matter. Koji from the Tatsuishi family, another powerful family with abilities, had a crush on Miyo, and Miyo liked him too. Miyo saw a glimpse of hope that Koji might be able to take her away from her misery. But when the Tatsuishi family suggested an arranged marriage to the Saimori family, Miyo's father gave the offer to Kaya. Miyo was really surprised because Koji had always shown interest in her, not Kaya. Koji, not strong enough to go against his father, had to agree to marry Kaya. Miyo and Koji were both heartbroken. Trying to get rid of his daughter, who he thought was a disgrace, Miyo's father arranged for her to marry a man who is rumored to be really mean to women. All the women who were supposed to marry this man ran away, but Miyo had no choice but to go through the arranged marriage to Kiyoka Kudo. When Miyo arrived at Kiyoka Kudo's house and met him, he was indeed cold. He told Miyo that she had to do whatever he said. He even refused to eat her cooking, accusing her of trying to poison him. Yurie, Kiyoka's loyal servant, was not happy about how Kiyoka treated Miyo because she had a good feeling about Miyo being different from all of his previous fiancés. Yurie asked Kiyoka to give Miyo a chance. Kiyoka then started noticing how Miyo was behaving. Unlike his previous fiancés, who were all arrogant and only wanted wealth and status, Miyo was obedient and did not act like someone from a noble family. This behavior made Kiyoka curious about her past. When he looked into Miyo's background, he found out she did not have any special powers and that her family treated her badly because of it. This made Kiyoka Kudo sympathize with Miyo and want to heal her heart and help her become more confident and have a better life. He also learned that Miyo's real mother came from the Usuba family, a family known for having the most powerful, mind-controlling, supernatural abilities. The Usuba family was also very secretive, so most people thought they were just a legend. Kiyoka further investigated the whereabouts of the Usuba family, curious about whether other Usuba family members existed. Kiyoka Kudo began to show more attention and kindness to Miyo, which made her feel uncomfortable at first, because for the first time in almost forever, there was someone who actually cared about her and accepted her. He even complimented and enjoyed her cooking. Both Kiyoka and Miyo began to have feelings for each other. Kiyoka, who never cared about women before, for the first time ever, took interest in his new fiancé. He took her out to the city for a stroll and bought her new kimonos. He took her to a shop for a bowl of sweets. They went to the library, the park, where they enjoyed each other's company. He offered to buy her anything she wanted, but since Miyo never needed anything, she declined. On that day, Miyo was dressed up so pretty, his heart was fluttered. As time passed by, Kiyoka realized that Miyo was becoming very important to him. He even gave Miyo a comb, which in Japanese tradition represents a marriage proposal. He was determined to make his fiancé happy and keep her safe. Miyo found the new experiences with her fiancé delightful, but she still felt uncomfortable. She still felt so undeserving. She even felt guilty for enjoying herself during the walk in the city. But Kiyoka assured her that it was okay to enjoy herself, that she had the right to enjoy herself. Miyo still could not believe that she was living with a beautiful man who was kind and attentive to her. The rumors about him being cruel to women weren't true at all. She couldn't believe that he gave her a comb to replace the broken comb that she got from her mom, the one that she was still using. In return, Miyo made and gave Kiyoka a hair tie which he wore every day without fail. Miyo felt like she was living in a dream and never wanted to wake up. She was determined to become a good wife who Kiyoka Kudo would be proud of, as he was becoming very important to her. Now going back a bit, Miyo's father, Mr. Saimori, had originally planned to give Miyo to the Tatsuishi family too, to marry Koji's older brother. However, Mr. Miyosaimori also received a marriage offer from the Kudo family at around the same time. So he had two offers, one from the Tatsushi family and one from the Kudo family. Even though the Kudo family was known to be very rich and powerful, Mr. Saimori knew about the rumors of Kiyoka Kudo being cruel to women. So he would never send his favorite daughter Kaya to marry him. Instead, he saw this as a chance to get rid of Miyo, his disappointing daughter, by marrying her off to this cruel man. He even said he didn't care what happened to Miyo, so he basically abandoned her. Hearing this, Mr. Tatsushi was not happy at all. He knew Miyo's mother was an usuba, and even though Miyo did not inherit any powers, her future children might. So Mr. Tatsushi was determined to take Miyo away from the Kudo family and make her marry one of his sons, giving the Tatsushi family a chance to gain the mind-controlling ability. With that kind of power, the Tatsushi family would definitely rule the country. Mr. Tatsushi and everyone else expected Miyo to be kicked out of Kiyoka's house, just like all of Kiyoka's previous fiancés. So it would have been easy for Mr. Tatsushi to take Miyo into his family. However, to his disappointment, Miyo was very happy living with Kiyoka, and Kiyoka was very happy with her too. It was clear that Kiyoka and Miyo became inseparable. Feeling like his plan was failing, Mr. Tatsushi used Kaya to try and switch the brides, Miyo and Kaya. Kaya, being the mean person she was, couldn't accept that Miyo was happier than she was, and that her embarrassing older sister was marrying a man who was not only handsome, but also the head of the powerful and wealthy Kudo family. Kaya believed she was the more deserving daughter to marry Kiyoka Kudo. Since their father didn't want Miyo back, Kaya and Mr. Tatsushi decided to use force to make Miyo personally reject the marriage proposal from the Kudo family. They did this by kidnapping Miyo. Now Koji, even though he wasn't going to marry Miyo anymore, still loved her and always wanted her to be happy. When he found out what Kaya and his father were doing to Miyo, Koji went to Kiyoka for help. At the same time, Kiyoka had just learned from Yurie that Miyo had been kidnapped. Miyo was taken to the Saimori's house and locked in an old storage building in the back. Kaya and her mother tortured her, trying to force her to say that she rejected the marriage proposal. But Miyo, for the first time ever, refused to obey. Kiyoka was the only person in the world who cared for her, accepted her, stood up for her, and protected her, and she wasn't going to give him up. He was her prince who took her away from her misery. He was her happiness, so she wasn't about to submit to Kaya and her stepmother. So Miyo endured so much pain. She was kicked, slapped, and stepped on while her hands were tied up. Her beautiful kimono bought by Kiyoka was cut by Kaya. It was a horrible scene. While Miyo was being tortured, Kiyoka and Koji arrived at the house, and Kiyoka fought off both Mr. Tatsushi and Mr. Saimori. The combined power of Mr. Tatsushi and Mr. Saimori was no match for Kiyoka's power. Kiyoka easily defeated both of them. When he went to save Miyo, he was appalled by the sight of what was done to her. Miyo, seeing that her princess came to rescue her, was so happy and then went unconscious. Kaya tried to stop Kiyoka from leaving with Miyo, saying that she was the one who should be part of the Kudo family. Kiyoka, full of rage, told Kaya that he would never choose an arrogant woman like her and told her to get out of his way. The whole Saimori house caught fire because of the fight between Kiyoka and those we called men, including the stump of the cherry blossom tree that used to belong to Miyo's mother. After getting her strength back, Miyo went to see the burnt tree stump with Kiyoka because she wanted to see it one last time. When she touched it, Miyo felt a strange electrical feeling like something was being transferred to her. Then the burnt tree stump broke into pieces and disappeared. It broke Miyo's heart. Seeing that, Kiyoka felt bad because the fire that burnt the tree stump was the result of his fight. But Miyo told him it wasn't his fault and that she was so happy he came and rescued her. Koji was also there and wanted to talk to Miyo. He was still hoping to win her back. However, Miyo made it very clear that she had chosen her fiancé over him. This surprised Koji, and he was sad, but he also knew that he wouldn't be strong enough to protect Miyo anyway. So he said his goodbyes and left to start a new life. Meanwhile, Kaya was starting a new life too. She was being sent to another family to be a servant. Ever since Miyo became happy living with Kiyoka, she started having dreams of her mother talking to her, but also nightmares she could not explain. Especially after the kidnapping, in her dream, her mother told her to trust the power within her. Hearing that, Miyo was confused. And all these nightmares, they were making her sick. She wasn't sleeping well at all. Kiyoka suspected that the nightmares were caused by the fact that Miyo was of Usuba blood. On top of the nightmares that were draining her, Miyo was learning to become a lady from Hazuki, Kiyoka's older sister. Miyo wanted so much to become a wife worthy of her future husband. With all the cooking, the house chores, and the lessons taking, Miyo was pushing herself that her health was deteriorating. Meanwhile, from a distance, certain people knew that Miyo's nightmares were the result of her power awakening. Yes, Miyo actually had supernatural powers, and it seemed like all members of the Usuba family could sense each other's power. So when Miyo's powers started to appear, Arata Usuba, her cousin, and her grandfather felt it. Coincidentally, Kiyoka's military unit was faced by problems of evil spirits escaping from an old tomb which seemed to be purposely broken and opened. Pretending to work together with Kiyoka's military unit in handling the broken tomb, Arata managed to approach Miyo. Kiyoka eventually discovered that Arata was indeed an Usuba, and with Miyo's deteriorating health, he brought Miyo to see Arata at his house, which turned out to be the Usuba house. To both Kiyoka and Miyo's surprise, Arata told them that Miyo's nightmares were caused by Miyo's awakening supernatural power. The Usuba family knew about her nightmares and her declining health. To get rid of her nightmares and control her power, she needed to stay in the Usuba house where there was a magical barrier that made Miyo feel better. Arata stressed the fact that Kiyoka had a lot on his plate dealing with the broken tomb and that he should leave Miyo and give her back to the Usuba family where she could be safe. Although Miyo always wanted to be by Kiyoka's side, she did not want to be a burden to him, so she could not make a decision whether to go home with him or stay back in the Usuba house. Because of this, Arata challenged Kiyoka to a duel, of which the winning prize was to keep Miyo. Unfortunately, Kiyoka lost and was banished from the Usuba house. At the Usuba house, her grandfather told Miyo everything about the Usuba family and her mom, Sumi, including the fact that Sumi had sealed off Miyo's power, which was the dream sight ability. He also told Miyo that the Usuba family always kept their power within the family and wasn't allowed to be part of the community. He was very angry at her mother for marrying someone outside of the family, even though her mother had good intentions. The Usuba family business at that time was failing and needed fresh money. So when a marriage proposal came from the Saimori family, Miyo's mom decided to accept it despite her father's strong disapproval. After the marriage, the Saimori family cut ties with the Usuba family, preventing them from contacting Sumi. Miyo's grandfather apologized to Miyo for everything that had happened, which resulted in her having a difficult life. He assured Miyo that now she could rely on the Usuba family for help and protection. But to Miyo, what is a family? So Miyo stayed a while at the Usuba house where she recuperated and gained back her strength. While she was there, she learned that her mother had sealed off her power because the Saimori family was planning to use it for the wrong reasons. She also learned that when her power was fully awakened, not only could she enter and manipulate people in their dreams, she would also be able to see the past and the future. It was a very powerful ability indeed. Arata said that she needed to stay with the Usuba family so that he could help her control her power and protect her. He was even ready to replace Kiyoka as her husband. Miyo, of course, knew that her heart already belonged to Kiyoka. When Kiyoka went back home, his older sister, Hazuki, was very angry with him for betting his fiancé in a stupid duel. She told him he needed to bring Miyo back because she knew how much Miyo loved him and needed him. Unfortunately, as much as he wanted to bring her back, there was an emergency he had to deal with. The evil spirits from the broken tomb were getting too close to the city, and his power was needed to fight them. Meanwhile, when Miyo's power was starting to awaken, there was someone who felt really threatened by Miyo's dream sight power, and that person was the Emperor. Mikado. The Mikado family had been rulers of the country because they had incredible supernatural abilities, one of which was the ability to tell the future. Their job was to keep order and balance the power among the noble families with special gifts. Meanwhile, the Usuba family secretly served the emperor by dealing with any powerful individuals who went rogue. Since the Usuba family's powers were related to mind control, they could easily brainwash criminals to stop the crimes. However, the emperor had always feared the Usuba family's dream-related abilities, believing they could one day become stronger than the imperial family's own powers to see the future. So when Miyo's dream sight ability awakened, the emperor naturally felt threatened. On top of that, Miyo was engaged to the head of the Kudo family, a noble family that was highly respected and powerful with strong ties to the military. The Kudo family was also known for their strong supernatural gifts and fighting skills. Therefore, the combination of Miyo and Kiyoka was a serious threat to the emperor. Afraid that his position might be in danger in the future, the emperor ordered Arata Usuba to take Miyo back and keep her within the Usuba family. If Miyo and Kiyoka were separated and Miyo was watched and controlled by the Usuba family, the dangerous combination of Miyo and Kiyoka would no longer exist. However, Kiyoka wasn't about to give up on Miyo, and Miyo wasn't going to give up on Kiyoka either. They were in love. They wanted to be together, and love conquers all, right? Kiyoka was determined to bring Miyo back after he finished dealing with the evil spirits from the tomb. Sadly, during the fight against the evil spirits, Kiyoka was injured badly and became unconscious, but his soul was still alive. He was trapped in his own dream, fighting off the evil spirits that kept attacking him. When Miyo learned how Kiyoka was hurt and unconscious, she begged her grandfather and Arata to let her see him. Seeing how devastated Miyo was, they decided to let her go, but Arata had to go with her. Even though Arata wanted to keep Miyo for himself within the Usuba family, he still wanted Miyo to be happy. He felt bad about what happened to Kiyoka and how it made Miyo so devastated. He knew that only Miyo could help her fiancé wake up, and Arata decided to guide her. To try and wake him up, Miyo entered Kiyoka's dream. However, Miyo was faced by her own inner struggles. Her old self appeared and started telling her that she wasn't good enough to be Kiyoka's wife. Her old self said she should take the easy way out, which was to stop fighting and just accept that she was going to die worthless. But Miyo's new self wouldn't listen anymore. Her new self knew what she wanted, which was to always be by Kiyoka's side and be happy. With that, she broke off all the painful memories that were hurting her and transformed into the beautiful dream-side maiden she was. After hugging her old self, who then disappeared, she found Kiyoka's hair tie in her hand, which would guide her to find Kiyoka in his dream. Deep in his dream, Kiyoka was feeling hopeless. Despite his determination to stay alive and get back to Miyo, he was getting weaker. He was aware that he lost his most treasured hair tie that he got from Miyo. Suddenly, Miyo appeared in mid-air looking beautiful in her dream-side outfit. She immediately came down and defeated the evil spirits. And guess who decided to kill both Kiyoka and Miyo in the dream? The Emperor. Yes, the person responsible for opening the old tomb was the Emperor himself. Since Miyo appeared in Kiyoka's dream, it was a chance for him to get rid of the threat once and for all. But as the Emperor feared, Miyo's strength was far greater than his. Miyo was able to defeat the Emperor and eliminate all the evil spirits in the dream. In the final moments before they returned to reality, Miyo confessed her deep regret to Kiyoka for her pretense back at the Usuba house when she hesitated to reveal her true wish, which was to forever remain by his side. A wave of relief and joy washed over Kiyoka, for her desire mirrored his own. Together, their eyes fluttered open, drawing them back to the safety of their shared reality. At the party, where Miyo got to use her skills as a lady, Kiyoka asked Miyo to marry him. And of course, Miyo shyly yet happily said yes. Thank you for watching. Until next time.